Death, destruction, decay. Death is inevitable. But from this death comes new life.
We may end up bringing this fight to our own doorstep.
Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here, and welcome back to another Fear the Walking Dead review. This is going to be my review for Season 6, Episode 12, titled In Dreams. This is a Grace-centered episode, and if you guys aren't caught up with Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 12, because I know it is airing tonight, but yeah, if you aren't caught up, this will contain spoilers, so watch out. Go back, watch the episode, and come here and listen to my thoughts. Let's get on in, shall we? So we kick off this episode with Grace in basically her dream. 95% of this is pretty much dream Grace is having because she's going into labor. She's on her way to the hospital that June is setting up with Morgan. And the end is the beginning group with Riley set up a bomb, I guess, or a tripwire. I don't know what exactly happens, but the car explodes that they're in, causes a wreck, and Grace is unconscious, and Morgan has to protect her as Riley and the end is the beginning group is slowly closing in on them. In the dream, we meet Athena, which is a 16-year-old girl, and we soon realize that she is the daughter of Grace and Morgan, pretty much dream child for Grace, I guess. Very skilled with the bow staff, and has a good taste in music and stuff like that. It's pretty much, yeah, it's just like Grace, and what Morgan child would be like. But we get to see a big flash forward into the future with this one, with an old man Morgan. That was cool to see. We haven't seen an old, like, dreamy character since, like, season 8 with, old man Rick. We haven't seen that. You remember that? It was, like, Carl's dream for the future. This is Grace's dream for the future. Morgan is older. He's raising Athena, and the community's thriving. It's important to note a few things here. Basically, Morgan mentions that Alicia went to the stadium that she built up with, Madison and the others from Season 4, and started her own community there. That's very, very interesting, especially now that we know that Episode 14 of the Season 6 is titled Mother, and it has to deal with Alicia facing her past and meeting up with old friends. We'll see how that goes. But also, he notes that Al has been gone for quite some time now. It's been 16 years since Grace's pregnancy, of course, because Athena's 16. But Al has gone away, so I'm pretty sure that might be alluding to Al going off and trying to find Isabel, maybe even appearing in the Rick Grimes movies next year. That would be very cool, because I love Althea. But who knows if that's going to happen or not, because we see how some things in this stream aren't really going to come into fruition at all. It is nice to see that Dwight and Sherry are raising kids, and one is called Tina, which is named after Sherry's sister, if you remember from Season 6 when she died in the burnt forest, and the other one's named after John, which, fun fact, the kid that played John, he is the son of Austin Amelia, who plays Dwight. I saw that today. That was cool. But certainly a very not confusing episode, just very I don't know the word for it. It's an amazing episode. I love this episode. It's so I don't know, mixed up, it's a very mixed bag of things. It's like all of a sudden Grace is hearing Morgan's voice as he's trying to wake her up in the present time, the real world, and Riley and everyone else, the group, is shooting out at him, shooting windows out, and telling him, you have something that we want, and they want the key because that key holds something very special, like that submarine that we saw in episode 1 of this season, which is going to come back into play very, very soon. Uh, ugh, season 6 is awesome, but Athena is a great character. I wish that she wasn't just a one-off character for this episode, because we'll get to that later. But since this is all a dream, of course, she's not really 16, so we're never gonna really see her again, unless they do another like flashback thing or flash forward thing, where Grace is seeing her in visions, in dreams, which is another fun fact that In Dreams is the title of the episode. It's a song by Roy Orbison. Yeah, Roy Orbison. I butchered that name all to hell because I'm stuttering, but it's an old favorite of Grace's Grace's loved one. The one that she, of course, got pregnant by, and the one that died. And we do see the actual guy in this episode, what he was like, and not what he was like, but what he looks like, I mean. And we do see kind of the backstory of how he has like these boils on the side of his neck as he's turning into a walker, from the radiation. And there is a good bit of action in this. We get a car explosion where old Morgan, Athena, and Grace are there. This is all in the dream still, of course. And she recognizes the car, and the car explodes, simulating, Grace remembering the car explosion that caused her to become unconscious in the first place. And she's very worried. She hears Morgan trying to wake her up. She's like, Morgan! Morgan! Like, she's shouting, and Athena's like, you're crazy. But Athena doesn't actually know that Grace is her mom until like halfway through the episode. The same with Morgan until the beginning where he actually does talk to her. Morgan and the others don't really know who Grace is because as far as they know, Grace is dead. So I'd like to know, honestly, who they see Grace as in the dream, like themselves. But I'm probably going way too in depth with that since they're dream characters. But another thing of the dream that I liked was Coleman Domingo, Strand, and Daniel Salazar, wisecracking and joking with each other at the barber table. That was nice. I hope that actually does come into fruition where they're best friends. Not best friends, but how can you be best friends with someone that shot you in the face? But oh well. But they could be comrades anyway. That would be nice, but I don't know, because not everything that happens in this dream is gonna happen in real life. The action in this, like I said, is great. We get one of my favorite scenes of the season where Morgan is fighting off the end is the beginning members and Riley cut back and forth with in the dream, Athena and Grace fighting off Walker versions of Riley and the group with their knives and stuff. So it's like walkers with knives, and the makeup effects on Nick Hall, I think, or Nick Stahl, whatever his name is. Let me just check what his actual name is. Yeah, Nick Stahl. Dude, he was awesome. He looked awesome, I mean, in the makeup for the Walker version of him, and they're all running at each other with the knives, and Grace and Athena go in and start kicking ass, and then Morgan, of course, kicks ass all the time as he is kind of, he's stabbing them, he's hitting them, he's trying not to really kill them, because remember, he said that he doesn't really want to kill anyone, but yeah, he certainly is, because he has to kill them. He stabs this dude in the stomach, and then stabs another one like in the throat, and another one through the mouth. through the mouth. Holy shit. That was my favorite kill of the episode for sure. And he does stab Riley actually. I wasn't expecting Riley to die. He doesn't die though. So yeah, I wasn't expecting him to even get hurt, let alone die. But he doesn't die. He just gets injured, and then runs off. He's like, "You can't stop us." And Morgan's like, "I think I just did." That was a badass moment as well. But later on, he does get the key from Morgan. So Riley and the group does have the key, but we'll see how that plays out in episode 13 or 14, whenever Teddy and Alicia are on screen again. Hopefully. Well, yeah, episode 14, they said that she's going to be back. But back to the dream, Grace does tell Athena that she doesn't think she'll make it out of the pregnancy, because you go through this episode, it's a very Grace-centered episode, obviously, so you're thinking Grace is going to die. So Grace tells Athena she doesn't think she's going to make it, so she, is walking into the light, and Athena gives her this tape recorder because Grace records this little thing before going through with the pregnancy and having the baby, telling her these different things and having different songs in there, including, In Dreams, by Roy Urban. I'm just going to forget saying that name. But honestly, it's a really touching scene as Grace walks into the light, but she wakes up and they have the baby, she's having the baby after, of course, Riley busts in and gets the key. She starts having the baby, of course, it's themed, scored by In Dreams, which I thought was fun. But things are about to get dark, and it's very fucked up. Excuse my French. It is very fucked up that they aired this episode on Mother's Day, guys. Holy crap. Basically, you go through this episode thinking that Grace is not going to make it out. You think this is going to be it for Grace. She was an awesome character. We're getting this very emotional attachment to her, which is another thing I love that, Fear the Walking Dead struggled with. Compared to the other series, where the other series you have comic counterparts to already get you to care about them. This show, it's just purely on its own. You must care about these characters to be invested. And you get very invested in Grace in this episode, and you love her by the end of this episode. At least I would hope so. I do. But yeah, you really think Grace is going to die. But unfortunately, Athena, the baby is stillborn. It's dead. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation or joke about it, but we haven't seen a Walker baby. I don't know if they're going to do that. Part of me wants them to, because I haven't seen a Walker baby on The Walking Dead, but I'm fine with them not doing it. Once again, I don't want to joke about it because it is a very sad scene, and it might be one of the most saddest things ever in the Walking Dead universe. We've seen pregnancies go right, but still wrong with, Lori dying, but Judith still gets born. I mean, this is basically the other way around, where Grace, Lori is very skeptical about having that baby in The Walking Dead, and then she dies. And here Grace is like, I'm going to die, and the baby's going to live, and the baby's dead. And Morgan's crying. I don't understand. Grace is like, I thought I was seeing my last moments, but it was hers, and that really hit. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this review. It was a very rough one to get through, but next week hopefully we'll have some awesome June Dory action, because that's who the next episode's gonna be about. Super amped for that one. But until next time, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comments below. And goodbye, Fear fans.